Hello everyone, welcome to another video, and today we're back in RaceRoom. The weekly schedule has just been released and it's brought with it a couple of surprises, but also the return of some old favourites, and it's one of those combos that we're going to try today, the GT3 class at Hockenheim. Now, I absolutely love this circuit and I always tend to go well here, so I'm optimistic of getting a good result today, and qualifying certainly gives me more encouragement. We've put it 6th on the grid with a lap time of 1:41.4. The top four are all lapping in the 140s, so they might just be a little bit too quick to keep up with, but I'm confident of battling for a top 5 finish if we can make a good start. But that's enough of the chat, let's get down to business. The cars are lined up and we're waiting for the lights to go green, so let's join the live action and see how we get on. Thought we were going to get a bit bogged down at the start there, but it doesn't seem to have affected our momentum. We got away fairly well. We've got a green Porsche on the outside, so it's important that I try and keep it tight in T1. Might have been a slight bit of contact, but nothing too bad. We have lost the position to Roland, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment, although we might lose another one. It looks like we've got a Mercedes. Going to tuck it up the inside into this right-hander. Yeah, Christian Abraham has made the pass. So we've dropped 2 positions now, we're down to 8th. We certainly don't want to give away any more if we're going to push for one of these top 5 positions. There is a gap just beginning to open up behind us now as well. Michael Goma in the Mercedes is the driver behind us. He's 1 second back, so that's a bit of breathing room for us as we can concentrate on what's going on in front. This hairpin gets really tight on lap 1 and Abraham's run it in wide. We've got around him and it looks like a Callaway Corvette got all out of shape on exit as well. He's lost all his speed, so we've gained another position. We're back up to 6th. And a gap has opened up on the inside of Mollier too. I did think for a moment about diving in, but I thought better of it. And judging by my rear view mirror, Abraham had exactly the same thought with me. He had a look up the inside, but again he backed out of it, thankfully. So no change in positions. Mollier 5th, I'm in 6th. Abraham's in 7th, but he's having a look up the inside again. I'm going to have to defend as hard as I can here because it looks like Abraham wants that position back. He's going to have another look up the inside, but I'm just going to try and seal off the line. Yeah, we've managed to hold him off. Well, I don't know for how long because it looks like he's got some serious pace. Oh, I just didn't have quite the right line in that final corner. I got on the gas and then I hesitated. I had to get off again, and that's cost me a couple of tenths to the 2 cars in front. And what about Abraham? How far behind is he now? It's 0.7 of a second, so we've opened up a little bit of a gap. However, he is going to close right in now on the brakes and have another look up the inside. Again, we've defended hard and we've held the position. Right, let's take a quick break from the live action and go back and check out a replay of what happened on lap 1. So the lights go green and it was a fairly decent start for me. We got away pretty well, although the same can't be said for the car in the background. Look at that, spinning off less than a second into the start of his race. But as for me, I'm in the black RaceRoom BMW, and you saw me hugging the inside line in T1 there. That's because the green Porsche was on the outside of me and I desperately wanted to avoid running into his line. So we did lose the position, and there we lose another position. That's Abraham in the Mercedes getting by. But he wasn't able to hold on to the position, and we're riding on board with Abraham now as we approach the hairpin, and he just gets a little bit close to that Porsche. He has to readjust his line, tries to go around the outside, but that leaves a gap open for me to sneak through. And then Abraham gets really unlucky with the car that had got out of shape. Look, he's right in his line and he has to take a void in action, and that denies him the chance to fire right back. Here we can see the hairpin again from the chopper cam, and I managed to get a really tight apex here and get a good exit. We've already managed to get right alongside Abraham, and yeah, with that Callaway Corvette in Abraham's way, we take full advantage and hold on to the position. Back to the live action now, and as you can see, I'm struggling to keep up with Mollier and Roland. Well, they've opened up a 1.5 second gap, but they are really close together, so we're going to open up the TV cam in the top right of the screen. We can keep an eye on that battle and hope that they slow each other down enough for me to start reeling them in. Yeah, Mollier's really keen to find a way past, isn't he? But he's not going to find it around the outside into the stadium section. But he's all over that green Porsche now like a rash. It's going to be interesting to see how Roland copes with the pressure as Mollier has another look up the inside. I don't think there's going to be room to get the pass done there. He has got a great drive out of that final turn though. He's going to pull up alongside, so I reckon he's got the speed and the momentum to make this pass stick into T1. And we're going to run a little bit wide. We just managed to keep it on the track without picking up an incident point. But yeah, in front of us, Mollier has made the pass stick into turn 1. A great move there. It takes a brave driver to tuck it up the inside into that corner. And he's managed to do it neatly and safely. But it certainly doesn't look like Roland is ready to surrender that position yet. He's right on the tail of Mollier as we race towards the hairpin. Is he going to try and move up the inside? And yes, he is. He pulls out from the slipstream. He's going to have that inside line into the sharp hairpin. Mollier gives him all the room he needs, but it's Roland who's got the better line, and it just enables him to get on the gas that little bit quicker and take the position back. So Roland is back into 4th, Mollier down to 5th, and we're in hot pursuit in 6th. Oh, and Abraham coming in way too hot. He absolutely rams into the rear of my BMW. He spun out. There's no way he could save it. The contact pushed us wide, but we managed to hold on to it, and thankfully, we've got away without picking up any damage too. We'll check out the replay of that in a minute, but let's stick with the action for now because Mollier is hounding Roland. Is he going to try and make a move up the inside through the stadium section? No, he's just not got the drive to get alongside here, and it's so tight and twisty. I suspect instead that he's going to be sizing Roland up to try and make the same move into T1 again. He's got to rely on getting a great drive out of this final turn. It looks like he has. He's in Roland's draft, but he needs to be alongside him if he's going to make the pass. So I think he's going to have to sit back and try it again in the next corner instead. And yes, he's going to go for it. Look, Mollier's going to try and tuck it up the inside into this right-hander. Is Roland going to give him the space? He is, but that also means he's got the inside line for this kink. So I don't think Mollier's going to be able to get it done. Oh, this is a great race. RaceRoom's ranked servers are an absolute joy when you get a race like this. But of course, it would be even better if we were getting amongst it too. But at the moment, I'm pushing as hard as I can just to keep up with these two guys. As Mollier has another look up the inside into the hairpin. He's surely going to get it done, and he might have left a space open for me. No, he hasn't. There was contact with the Porsche. That was my bad. I thought there was a space for me to get through as well, but I was being a bit optimistic. Thankfully, the contact was minimal. We did get some incident points, but it hasn't affected either of our speeds. Right, now Mollier's made that pass stick. We can get rid of the TV cam and put our full concentration on my charge to try and catch and pass Roland. Oh, I'm trying to save every inch that I can in a bid to catch up with this guy, and I just pushed my luck a little bit too far then. We went a little bit tight into that turn, clipped the grass, picked up another incident point, but we are getting a little bit closer. It's 0.6 of a second as we round the final 2 turns. Oh, but again, we push it a bit wide, and that's another incident point. We're off track again. I'm starting to get a little bit ragged now. It just shows how hard I'm trying to push, but I need to settle down and try and get back into a rhythm. We're right on Roland's tail now, 0.3, 0.4 of a second. So in my pursuit of Roland, I just ran it in a little bit too hot into that section there, and as you can see, it cost me valuable time on the exit as I lost some speed. So that gives us a chance to go back and check out some replays. And we'll start by going back a couple of laps to see Abraham outbrake himself, just run it into the rear of my BMW and spin out. Now I'm going to keep the replay going because I always like to recognise a safe rejoin, although he even gets a helpful nudge there to point himself in the right direction to get back on when the traffic has passed. But yeah, much like me in pursuit of Roland, Abraham was pushing hard to try and catch me up, completely missed his braking point there, but thankfully he didn't take me with him. And then a lap later, we saw me try to join in with the battle in front, and I tried to tuck it up the inside of Roland, but I had to back out after making some slight contact. We're rejoining the live action now, and we've jumped forward to the final 2 laps. The previous 5 minutes or so were all about me pushing as hard as I can just to keep within 0.6, 0.7 of a second of Roland. However, as we approached the final stages of the race, I just started to sense that I was beginning to make some headway and I was beginning to claw that gap in to the green Porsche in front of me. We're just about to exit the stadium section to start our final 2 laps, so we're going to rejoin the live action, and I'm also going to open up the TV cam again because there's a cracking battle going on for the race lead between Frankenbach and Bortot. Oh, closing right in on Roland through turn 1 there. Our corner speed is so much better in the BMW than the Porsche, but it just seems like Roland's Porsche has got a little bit of extra grunt, which just gets him out of the corners a little bit quicker than I can. And there's a perfect example, look, he just opens up an extra 10th or 2 as we surge down the Parabolica. Meanwhile, let's check back in with the battle for the lead because it looks like the long-time leader Frankenbach has run it wide into the hairpin and Bortot has taken full advantage. The back marker that they've caught up with has got out the way. Oh, and I've run it in too hot into the hairpin as well. I've taken exactly the same line as Frankenbach did. Well, if it's good enough for the race leader, it's good enough for me, but it certainly doesn't feel good now because I've been given a slowdown penalty as well as losing the best part of a second. Oh, that could prove to be a costly mistake because I think we're only going to get 1 more lap after this one. And the gap now to Roland is 1.5 seconds. It's going to be really hard work to claw that back again. And we've still not shaken this slowdown penalty off. What else do I need to do? I'm trying to ease my corner speed ever so slightly, but at the same time, I don't want to lose complete touch with Roland in front. But yeah, we finally got rid of it, thankfully. And what's the gap looking like? It's 1.3 of a second with 1 lap to go. So basically, we've got to give it everything we've got and just hope that Roland makes a mistake. Meanwhile, back at the front, it looks like Frankenbach knows it's now or never as well because he's making a move up the inside of Bortot to try and take this lead back. Is he going to make the pass stick? Yes, he is. Bortot's going to try his best to bite back, but it looks like Frankenbach has got the speed out of that turn and he's going to hold on to the lead. So with Frankenbach back out in front and me closing in dramatically on Roland, let's close down the TV cam. We can concentrate fully on this pursuit of the green Porsche. We've got about half a lap left and we're going to give it everything we can. Oh, I just can't compete with that Porsche when it comes to exit speed. Out of the corners, we close right in on Roland, but he just pulls away. We're within a second now. It's 0.7 the gap. So all we can do is put as much pressure on as we can. Just clipped a bit of the inside curb there. That might cost us a 10th. And again, the Porsche powers out of those turns better than I can. 0.6, 0.5 now. We are closing as we approach the stadium section for the last time. Is there anything we can do? I'm not quite close enough to try sticking it up the inside here. But we're right on his tail now. 0.3 is the gap. Just need to apply the pressure. Maybe he'll run it in too hot into one of these last 2 corners and drift a bit wide. It doesn't look like he's gonna hold the line, but if we can just get on the gas a little bit early, we might have the pace. Let's go for it. We've got to gun it to the line now. Are we gonna get it done? No. Oh, we got such a good exit out of that final turn, but unfortunately we just ran out of road and we're gonna have to settle for 6th. Well, what a dramatic end to the race that was, and unfortunately for me, this mistake into the hairpin proved costly. I lay down 2 thick black lines of rubber as I run in way too hot into that corner, and then to add insult to injury, I run wide on exit, pick up a slowdown penalty, and all of a sudden I'm chasing a 1.5 second gap. Somehow we managed to claw it back, and then as we approached the stadium section for the final time, I was right on Roland's tail. He took the defensive line, so I was just looking for any way to get on the gas early. We took a little bit of the grass on the inside, got on the gas a bit quicker than him. He switches to the inside to defend, and we just run out of tarmac. There's not enough room to get the pass done. And if you're wondering just how close it was, then the classified results will tell us that we were separated by little more than 1/10 of a second at the checkered flag. Incredible stuff. We also got our fastest lap into the 140s too, a 140.9, although it was still a little bit shy of the pace that the front four were running. So what does that 6th place do to my RaceRoom ranking? Well, it's increased my rating. We got a +12 from that finish, so we're up to 1,646. However, the reputation took a little bit of a knock, just due to those incident points racking up into double figures. Well, I said at the start of the race that I wanted to push for a top 5, and although we didn't quite make it, I can't be too disappointed when a race is as enjoyable as that one. Once again, RaceRoom's ranked server has delivered big time. Cheers guys, and thanks for watching.